Hi everybody, this is HP and today I'm going to talk about touch technique a little bit, and in this case about voice leading with touch technique, which is the most important thing in touch technique. What is voice leading? I'm first going to play the thing that you hear what I'm talking about and then give further explanation. So this is what I'm talking about today. It's only a little sequence, but it's very useful to learn how to play an orchestral guitar with touch technique, and it's not so hard once you have the basic techniques together. So let's check it out. Good. First I'm going to talk about the sound settings, specific one here, but it's not really used or it's not really important for this lesson, but maybe since I always get messages of you how my sound settings are, I started talking about the sound settings in general. In this case, I have a clean amp setting as kind of a Fender amp, I think Deluxe Verb on my XFX2, and as you might hear, a reverse delay. That's very cool. Gives a little bit of softer sound, pretty much reverb, some compression, and a slight pitch shifter. You don't really hear it, but it doubles up the tone a little bit. But you can also play this stuff without all those effects, but if you can try it out. Yeah. Good. What is voice leading or just playing a progression in general? What is the importance of this? First, I'm going to talk about the progression I played in general, that you understand what I'm doing. First is just C major chord, then the G with the B in the bass, to A minor, to F. This is the chord progression which is played. Now, when we want to make voice leading, means the main problem with the touch technique is somehow you have two hands, 8 fingers or sometimes 10 fingers with a thumb, but only 6 strings, and some way you need to divide the chords between the two hands, and this is the main problem, and that's why we spend some time on this here. Now we want to divide the C major chord, which is like this, to two hands. From the theory that the chord is played, it's enough when you play the root note, this will be the C, and the triad of the C, which this is the triad, the E. And now you tap it in, and now you have C. Then, and it's always like this, the root note and the triad are the defining notes in a progression. So next chord is G with the B in the bass. Now the B is the triad itself, so we only need the root. Or the fifth. In this case, this is an exception. You can use the chord, the root or the fifth. Or you both if you want, I don't know. But in this case, I use the fifth, so in the 2nd fret and here in the 12th fret. Coming to A minor, root note here, triad, which would be the C here, and F, and the triad is here. Sometimes you can first play the fifth and then play the triad. Then it sounds like this. See, now I play the fifth first and then the triad. And then when you want to make melody, you play around those keynotes. I often work with keynotes. Keynotes are the notes where you want to come with the melody. So this is the keynote on C, this is the keynote on G, and this is the keynote on A, and this is the keynote on F, and this one here, of course. Now you can play around those notes. Like, see, I make the run here. We have a C major scale here. I use this position here. This one here, 9, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13. So you play in, first you practice the scale. Play it up is easier than going down, because down you need to, because when you play up, you only have the hammer-on technique, and when you come down you need to pull off, and you have to do it very precise, because otherwise you affect the open strings here, because we are not using a damper with my version of it, because the damper will not allow you to play open chord strings in between. So you can start a song like with conventional technique, and then you start with tapping, or switch between the techniques, which is very cool, but of course very difficult. So now you play around those keynotes. See, I play. You can play around, but you end the phrase on the keynote of the next chord. And this way you can make variations on the melody, but still referring to the keynotes. If you want to make more variations, you just move the keynotes in a different position. In this case, his first keynote, I stay on the first keynote, of course, because it's a triad. Then on the G with the B in the bass, I take this one here, the 12th fret with the G, which is the root note, and then go up here in the 13th, which is the triad of A minor, and go back here on the triad of the F, and now I have a variation on the melody. Looks very easy. This, if you only play the bass line with your left hand, it's more easy, because this way you can concentrate more on the right hand, and still sounds very nice. So if you're, I guess all of you are still beginners in touch technique, because nobody can play it really. So you prefer the easy version before you go to the complex version. The easy version is just with the bass note. And keep the beat going on. Once you're more sophisticated in that playing, you can play around those keynotes. And then you can add more complex left hand, which will be around, you play like power chords. These are mainly play power chords here. This is also power chord, just the D, G with the B in the bass. They can make a rhythm with the power chord. so on. Then you can start improvising around those keynotes as just normal improvisation concept. With keynotes, I'm going to talk about these keynotes in many other tutorials. So don't worry if you didn't get the keynote thing down, just keep on following me and you will get it one day. It takes a lot of experience that you really can play freely around those keynotes, but this is the main thing. So I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial here about touch technique. Making chord progressions, playing around keynotes is the main thing. It's called voice leading. Voice leading is the most important thing in music. Anyway, whatever you play, it's because a lot of people think chords are just chords like this or whatever, but it's a summary of voices. Because when you play chords like with 4 notes, the proper chord leading would be you continue with chords with only 4 notes. And that is what really sounds nice. Same with chords with 2 notes as that sounds sophisticated inside, and that's the trick. If you want to play chords with 3 notes with touch, then it gets more complex. And so on. But we're going to talk about this in the future, so just keep on following my stuff, and yeah. Good, then see you next time.